Just a little while ago, I thought to myself, I wonder what I would look like as an action figure, like a in the store, on the shelf action figure for YouTube. I've got all these AI image generator tools out there, including a couple of new ones. Why don't I check it out and see if I can actually become one? I gave AI image generators my picture, and this is what happened next. All right, first up, one of the image generation tools that's free that I actually kind of like came back with this. I wasn't super happy with that. I hope that I can look a little cooler than that as an action figure. So then I tried one of my other favorite pay for image generation tools, and this is what they came back with. All right, so at least they got the YouTube piece on there, but like this guy's got a little more hair than I do. He's not wearing a hat. So like the image that I uploaded as the prompt for this had a hat, but it looks like an action figure. And then I got this from one of the brand new image generation tools, and they actually put YouTube on my chest. They've got like the packaging down here. I've got my hands on my hips. This is pretty legit. All right. So then I was like, wow, what else can I do? So let's see if we can break this thing. And so that's what I did. I'll tell you what, this new AI image generation tool that created this image pretty much won the test. Okay, so it can turn me into a cool action figure, but what else can it do? I put together some image prompts that I've been using so you can see how it looks and you can judge for yourself which is the best. Now, this new one is totally free to use. All right, let's jump in. Here's the exact prompt I gave to my favorite AI image generators. It's super vague and this is really challenging, so let's take a look at what I got. First up, Google AI Studio. Now, if you haven't heard, they just came out within the last couple of weeks with image generation from their new Flash model, okay? And it's really good. But in this case, we got back a random bunch of gibberish for our meme, okay? So that's what we got there, but at least it's a cat, right? And it looks like a meme. All right, so I went to my other go-to AI image creator, and that's Leonardo. And this is what I got back. Okay, so once again, I kind of like the perspective on the cat, like that's eye-catching, but the text is sort of nonsense. Okay, so there's Leonardo. Then I sent it over here to Minimax, okay, to their image creation tool. No text, all right. So, you know, with Minimax, you get back several different images, just like you do in Leonardo, and not a single one of them had text. But it is definitely a lazy cat, okay? Finally, I sent the same prompt to the new AI image generators, and this is what I got back. So surprisingly good. It's like insane, right? Like that is ready to load up into your Instagram and roll. This gets even better because I had some more complicated prompts that I needed for some faceless videos that I was making. And so I tried it out on all four of these AI image creators. Let's take a look. Okay, so here's the prompt. Create a high-angle 3D rendered scene of an 18th century coffee house with a few men discussing philosophy. Pixar style, okay? So there's a couple of things that are pretty challenging in this prompt, especially for the free AI image generators. They've definitely not been able to handle this in the past. Let's see if they can do it now. Okay, so some of the challenges that I listed here are the Pixar style. Does the image generator understand what that is? And also get in the time period right. Okay, so let's take a look at what I got. And I put these in the order of worst to best. This is the Google AI Studio, okay? I've actually really liked Google AI Studio for some things, and I'll show you what those are here in just a minute. So this one, though, was not one of them. The characters, if you can see their faces, they don't look like Pixar at all. The cartoon sort of does, but their faces are really weird, and it's really far away. Okay, so it did get the high angle right, but they're pretty far away. Now, this one was Minimax. Okay, so write that up there. And they did pretty well. I liked the scene. I think everything looks pretty authentic as far as the time period and everything. Good enough for what I needed. The only drawback I have is I didn't think they looked like Pixar characters. Okay, so let's move over here to the next one, and this is going to be Leonardo. All right, so Leonardo does a good job, okay? But there's a couple of weird things. First off, again, I'm not super impressed with the Pixar style. They do get that right in this image, so that was why I chose it. But the reason I didn't like this image is because this guy seems to be holding like a cell phone. So I didn't love that part, but otherwise I did like the character faces and the other aspects. So both of those are pretty good. And then this was new free AI image generator. Basically knocked it out of the park as far as getting the image totally right. The scene is right, the time period is right, and it has that Pixar look. So who is this crazy AI image generator? I'll tell you in just a second, because I wanted to basically make it lose, and so I kept trying different prompts that I thought would be difficult, and I know have tripped it up in the past. So let's take a look at the next one. Okay, so then I jumped into what has been hands down one of the hardest things for me to get from any of the AI image generators, and that is stick figures. Okay, so they all struggle with it. All right, so I asked for a stick figure basically sitting on a chair, one leg crossed over the other, which is like, this prompt has like tripped up everything. It's like all the AI image generators try to overcomplicate it. So what's challenging here, stick figures, getting the proportions right. In this case, I asked for a thought bubble above the stick figure. And so let's take a look at our results. Now, this is going to be our first one, and again, just ranking them from worst to best. This one was from Minimax, okay? Now, to its credit, it's got the leg crossover, this guy's holding a cup, the mouth is off the face, but it is a stick figure. I didn't ask for a hat, so that was one of the things that knocked this down a little bit for me. But all in all, it is a stick figure, so not too bad. Now, the next one came from Leonardo. Okay, so Leonardo has struggled with this, and I pay for their plan. I've tried a couple of different models, and I've worked with them quite a bit to get these better. I like the shading and stuff. I wish that the face had like eyes and a mouth and that kind of thing. And the other drawback on this one is that even though it's holding the coffee cup, just as I asked, the saucer seems to be like stuck to the coffee cup, so not great. And then it's got this like signature at the bottom. Like, I don't know what that's all about. Like, none of the other images had that, and I've never seen that before with Leonardo. So that was a little weird as well. Now, here is where I finally beat this AI image generation tool that I've been trying to knock out of the top category. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what it is in just 1 second. Okay, now I like this one. It has 2 coffee cups, which you may think is a mistake, but looking at my prompt, I do say that there's a coffee cup on the table. So that's one of the things that can kind of trip AI up. And so this one did work out, but the things I don't love is that it's supposed to be a stick figure, and this is like a whole body, right? So all in all, it looks pretty good. The proportions are all good. The leg is crossed over. Could totally use this. But if I look at what Google AI Studio gave me, this is what I got, and I like it the best. So we finally knocked my AI image generator off of the top spot. This is exactly what I was looking for, and Google seemed to understand that the best. So hats off to them for that one. Now, if you're wondering who this AI image generator is that I've been putting question marks over and keeping secret up to now, this is ChatGPT's new image gen. This is GPT images, okay? And it's in their 4.0 model. Now, this is available to the free plan, and they've pretty much rolled it out globally. I'll show you how to use it right now. So all you have to do is start a new chat inside of your OpenAI, inside of your ChatGPT, okay? Make sure you're on the 4.0 model, all right? So does not work in 01 or 4.5 or any of those. It has to be in 4.0. And then you just hit these little three dots down here and say create image. That's exactly what I've been using. And it works so good, all right? Now, this was the meme that I created a little bit ago, all right? So you can see, just to verify, I didn't do anything crazy. There's the stick figure we created. And so, yeah, can you believe that? It's pretty crazy. Okay, so now for the last thing, what I think we should do here is basically try to create an image that also has some text in it, because that has, like the meme I created, that has been one of the most challenging things. We got to change this to an image. Okay, so for this challenging prompt, what I've asked for is AI to create me an image of a Manhattan cocktail with a recipe card in front of the glass. I wanted to show the recipe for how to make a Manhattan on that recipe card. All right, so this is what OpenAI has come back with, and look at that. It's like perfect, isn't it? That's a good looking image right there, and it's got everything spelled right. This is actually the right recipe, and yeah, very good. Very, very good. Okay, and so this is where I think the power of AI Studio from Google and this new image generation from OpenAI, from ChatGPT, are the two most powerful new image generators right now, because not only are they generating a good image, but they're also combining the image generation with their knowledge base. And so that's the thing that you lack when you're in Minimax or in Leonardo, for example, is that they're very good at image generation, but they have no like AI sort of knowledge base. Like, they're not going to know what the recipe for a Manhattan is. Okay, so here is what we got on Minimax. Okay, and it's like a nice card. It says Manhattan, which is cool, and it is a Manhattan sitting there. Okay, let's look and see if we can see what the recipe is on this. Yeah, it's just nonsense. So it's like a really long recipe, but the words are just gibberish. Okay, it does say Manhattan at the top, which is cool. So this is what we've been able to work with in the past, right? So the image is good, but it doesn't really know what a Manhattan is. Okay, so let's see what Google AI came back with. Okay, that was surprising. As far as Google has been concerned, it's done a really good job for me on certain text things so far, but in this case it didn't. So I would have to go back and sort of look into that a little more. And let's look finally at Leonardo. Okay, so with Leonardo, we get a pretty decent looking image here. It says Manhattan cocktail, so that's good. But again, it's like unreadable / gibberish text. Yeah, not quite what we would want. I just am curious to see, like, this looks nice, but it's just gibberish. So it does say Manhattan cocktail. So in the past, this would have worked, right? But now we can actually get something that we could like share on social media, and it has the actual recipe on there. So that's where we've come to with AI image generation. This combines image generation together with knowledge from the AI, and so I think that makes it really powerful. And I hope this helps you out. So AI image generation has really taken a huge leap forward this week, in that we're combining image generation, super high quality image generation, together with knowledge, so that we can get by with a prompt that looks like this: create an image of a Manhattan with a recipe card and show the recipe. But I didn't give it the recipe. So maybe that would have helped over here with like Minimax and with Leonardo, because they don't have the knowledge base to know what the recipe for a Manhattan is. So I would have had to be explicit on that and then hope that they could get the text right, which is hit or miss. Okay, I'll have to try again in some kind of different situation for Google AI Studio, because like I said, I've had some success with AI Studio getting some really good stuff out of it, even with text on the images. But for whatever reason today live, it just didn't work out. All right, so that's okay. That happens sometimes. I kind of like this diagram, and I like the idea of having a card like this that kind of explains what's in the drink. So I think that's a cool concept, but gosh, it got everything wrong here. The text is gibberish, Manhattan's spelled wrong, and there's like a pepper in here or something. I guess maybe that's a lemon. So this is where I guess I would land for you, is that right now you have the opportunity to start generating your images without having to pay for them, using AI tools that are actually somewhat smarter than just the image generation AI tools. And so get on that, because there's lots of good opportunities for you to use this in your social media, for you to use this to create videos and do all sorts of good things. Meanwhile, while you're on the channel here, please check out a couple of the videos that are popping up on screen right now. And if you want to dive more in depth, hang out with me and some other cool people, then join my free community, okay? I've got all kinds of good stuff in there that I don't have on the channel. It's totally free to join, and yeah, I'd love to see you inside. Listen, if you liked this, please give it a like. And if you are not a subscriber to the channel, man, I'd love to have you on board. So that's that, and we will see you next time.